Oh, it's 1450 KMMS, 1340 KPRK. The aforementioned Mayor Jeff Krauss is in the studio, and joining us on the telephone from the Mansfield Center is Dr. Abraham Kim. Welcome back to the program, Dr. Kim.
Great, thank you. Great to be back.
And Jeff Krauss is in the studio as well. And there is a partnership between the Mansfield Center and the city of Bozeman. I guess I'd start with Mayor Krauss on that question.
Okay, I think there is, right? I think even though they're tied to the University of Montana, I think the Mansfield Center, like Mike Mansfield, is a representative of the whole state. And the Mansfield Center came here once. We had some stuff for them at the Museum of the Rockies, and also Britt Fontenot did some work with them. And I think just seeing a little broader and a little farther down the road, we can see where Bozeman could be the place where I think the countries of Asia, the business people of Asia, the students of Asia would think of coming to when they think about Montana. And I'm trying to get work with Dr. Kim to get some of that done.
Dr. Kim, was this a hallway discussion that occurred during the Asia-Montana Energy Summit that occurred earlier this year in April?
In fact, it was. It was a series of a lot of different conversations, and thank you to the city of Bozeman and Mayor Krauss's leadership, as well as Britt Fontenot's. We were able to talk about opportunities where we can get Bozeman on the map in terms of their connections with Asia, and how we can bring Asian leaders to talk with Bozeman leaders about how to promote and get connected with leaders, business leaders, academic leaders, policy leaders here in the Gallatin Valley. So, and one of the results of this are some of the upcoming programs that we're going to talk to you about.
Dr. Kim, is it all about connections and just knowing who to talk to get the answers that you're looking for to achieve the results you want?
Absolutely. It's about relationships, and especially relationships among leaders. And if you get the right leaders, having the right relationships and having the right conversations, you can conduct business, you can conduct public policy in a very efficient and effective way. And our goal at the Mansfield Center is to bring the key leaders, the important leaders that need to have these conversations and build those relationships. And so what we're trying to do is identify the right Asian leaders, not only in Asia, but also here in the United States, and get them connected with our Montana leaders and form those relationships and enjoy Montana with all of its beauty, and really show what a special place the state is and the city of Bozeman is. And so that's why we'd like to do these events and programs, bring these leaders and talking to our local leaders here in the state.
Mayor Krauss, Dr. Kim has referenced programs and events. What is in the works at this point?
Well, I'm going to let Dr. Kim answer that question, because he's probably got the information in front of him and I don't. But one of the things I'd like to say is, Montana State University is a key player in this as well, too. We've kind of brought them into it, even if there's a little maroon and silver over there on the other side on the Mansfield Center. I think Dr. Kim has really done a lot of outreach, and we've the city of Bozeman's jumped in with both feet, and I think MSU is getting that way too. I think the students' opportunities to study abroad, to study in Asia, to incorporate Asian studies into their curriculum, whether it's engineering or economics or something along those lines, I think is a key piece. Montana State being the STEM school in the state, I think has a lot of appeal, and we saw that at Ames. We saw a lot of interest from Japan and Korea in particular in doing some exchanges with Montana State.
1450 KMMS, 1340 KPRK. My name is Chris Griffin. In the studio, Mayor Jeff Krauss, and on the telephone, Dr. Abraham Kim from the Mansfield Center. So without further ado, Dr. Kim, what are the events and programs that you are working with MSU and the University of Montana and the city of Bozeman on?
Sure. So on August 28th, Friday, at 12:30, at the Museum of the Rockies, we're having a public forum, an hour-and-a-half public forum, entitled Why Asia Matters to Montana, Global Trade, Business, and Marketing. And what we're doing is we've invited 4 speakers, four prominent leaders from across the United States who are some of our leading Asia experts to talk about the importance of what are the important trends that are occurring in Asia Pacific that matter to our economy as a country, but also in the state of Montana. Looking at some of the important people-to-people exchange, public policy exchange, business exchange that need to occur, and opportunities that are present for our leaders here in Montana, as well as our schools and our businesses, and why and how companies can be more successful in places like Korea, Japan, and China. And some of the speakers that will be coming are one is the Ambassador Kathy Stevens. She was the former U.S. ambassador to Korea, and also she was Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy. Second is Dr. Satula May. He is Executive Director of the East-West Center, which is a major think tank in Washington, D.C. that focuses on and promoting U.S.-Asia relations. And then a gentleman by the name of Scott Bedbury. He is a global marketing guru who actually helped Nike and Starbucks become a global brand. And he's going to be talking a little bit about his experience in looking at Asia and the Asian market. And finally, a gentleman by the name of Mike Sakarski. He is the chairman of the Hawaii Export Council. So we're bringing trade experts from another state to talk about some of the experiences that are occurring in other states and how they're promoting trade, and perhaps some things that we as a state in Montana can learn from other states. So these four speakers are going to be coming, talking about their experience, how they're looking at the market, as well as how Asia Pacific matters to us in the United States and to the state of Montana.
Dr. Kim, how much time is you spent on the facilitation side of these discussions, or as compared to the policy side of the information presented?
So, the whole time will be not necessarily a presentation, but it'll be a facilitated discussion among these four leaders, and then there'll be opportunities for our audience to ask questions to these leaders. And so the point of the whole program is hopefully getting to the points and issues that really matter to our local leaders. And so our audience members will be able to be engaged in this conversation, and it's going to be really a free-flowing conversation between these leaders and our audience, and with a facilitator. And I'll be the facilitator of that program.
How much do you expect, Dr. Kim, that the Trans-Pacific Partnership will be a topic of conversation?
Oh, we're going to be talking about the Trans-Pacific Partnership and what it means for the United States. And people like Dr. Satula May, who's in charge of the East-West Center, will probably address those issues as well. So,
Mayor Krauss, this has to be a feather in the cap for the city of Bozeman to host a forum of this stature.
Well, when we went up to Ames, I think I was the only mayor in attendance, and also regent in attendance. So I was going on in both roles. There were people in attendance. The governor was there. Senator Daines was there. I mean, it was a pretty heavy duty conference. Bob Rowe from Northwest Energy and I had a long conversation about getting to the bottom of solar energy in Montana, trying to figure out what to do and how to move forward on policies after the last legislature. The fellow Bedbury that he talked about, the marketing guru, the branding successes of those two companies, right? And just what what branding might mean to the state of Montana, or even to the city of Bozeman, or to the Mansfield Center for that matter. Those kinds of discussions, I think, the informal conversations were as important as the formal conversations. I think we got pretty excited about a particular university in Japan that has some money to bring in foreign students and is interested in engineering students from the United States, and I think there's a way to facilitate some back and forth with that. There's a Bozeman businessman, Carl Borquist. You might have heard of him. He's doing the giant water battery up in I think it's Marr County, and or at least has proposed it and has gotten some support for that. And he is interested in taking a delegation to Japan. So I don't know if it's a feather in the cap of Bozeman, but it does. I guess what it shows is that we're thinking a little bigger, not growth wise bigger, but a little bigger in what Bozeman's role should be. You know, we hear a lot of times about, we got to stop the coal trains or energy policy or these kind of things. Well, if you don't understand, that Japan and South Korea are two of our biggest allies in the world, and they import 97% of their energy, and what that means for them and how we could help them out. If you don't understand the more geopolitical, the wider view of those kinds of things, I don't think you understand when you're discussing coal trains in Montana.